welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily if you're new here, and I would love it if you guys stick around by subscribing. So for today's video, as you can tell by the title, I am going to be sharing how I make koozies with you guys. So I get like a bunch of questions of where I get stuff, and I completely do not mind. I just thought it might be a little bit easier to condense it all in one video, but again, I am more than happy to continue answering questions and comments. I'm just gonna hit some like key questions and some key points, I guess, of what I've seen people ask me. So one of the questions that I saw a lot in the beginning is where I get my koozies from. I don't have, well, in the beginning I used to just buy them off Amazon. I found one of the vendors that sold, I think, like 10 to a pack, which was convenient and not at the same time, because I would get 10 and I had to, like, if I needed 25, I would order 30 and be left over with 5. So I didn't really have use for the last 5, so that was kind of a waste on that part. But it was convenient because they sold them in big bulks. But again, if you need like a odd number, or if you only needed 8 and you have 10, you're stuck with 2 and you have to wait around to see if somebody will order the same color, so you can just use those last 2. Please ignore the background noise. My mom and my tias are home, so just try to zone them out. But I wanted to go ahead and make this video for you guys because I have a little time off today. I do have a full-time job, but I do still make koozies, cups, and custom shirts on the side, so I wanted to get these questions answered for you guys. Another thing that I get asked a lot is, my goodness, is where do I buy my vinyl? I think it's called HTV, heat transfer vinyl. I don't know if that's correct. But I get it at Join Us. Oh, that was another thing leaving off my koozies. Now I buy my koozies at a place called Join Us. I believe their website is Join Us Woodlands. I'll link it down in the comments below, or in my section below. But so I get my koozies there because they sell them in packs. They do packs of 25, or they sell them individually. It's a little bit cheaper if you get them in packs. Lately I've been doing really big orders, so it's just convenient for me to do them that way. But if you only need, again, like 5, 10, or whatever, they sell them individually as well. And if you saw my last Cricut video, I shared about a little bit more detail about vinyls. If you want to go ahead and click over there, I won't go too deep into how I did over there. I just get my vinyl from Join Us Woodlands. A big thing that I will share later that happened, when you are ironing on koozies versus shirts, of course it's a huge difference, and it did not click in my head at the time. I was just trying to hurry up and start making these koozies. So the setting on the heat press is obviously going to be different in heat for a shirt versus a koozie. Simple explanation, shirts are bigger. You're pressing bigger things on a shirt versus a koozie. It's about this big. You're pressing like little tiny wording, probably about that big, probably like about, I don't know, that max. I don't even know if my measurements are making the same, but big key, it's a huge difference. So just make sure the settings are different. I will share that for my koozies, I use 285 degrees on heat, and about press them for 5 seconds. Now I will press them for 5 seconds, let them sit, bring them back, like run my iron over them one more time, let them sit a little bit more, and then finally peel it back. I feel like that has really worked for me. That's the method I'm gonna keep doing. Note to self, I take pictures of the temperatures as I'm working with stuff. So like now, like I said, note to self, on the koozies I took a picture, press at 285 for 5 seconds. Now for my t-shirts, you can always call and ask the store as well that I purchased my vinyl from. They have like a whole list of, because they have different vinyls, so it's not just like in my last video I explained I get the quick press vinyl. They have like pro light vinyl, and then glitter vinyl, and then like printed vinyl. So there's a bunch of different flavors bunch of different types of vinyl, heat vinyls, that you have to use or have choices of using. Sorry, I'm really stumbling over my words. I'm just trying to make sure I get everything to you guys. But I believe for when I make t-shirts, I used it at 320 degrees for 10 seconds. So left it on a little harder, a little longer. But that was my mistake, because the thing, if you have a Cricut heat press, it once you turn it on, it leaves the setting on what you used it last, instead of like it just automatically starting again from zero and you adjust it, which is kind of cool. But kind of like, if you're like me, kind of just trying to get something done, it's going to, you're gonna have to like turn it on, think about it, put your heating setting, and you know, what am I trying to say here? You get the gist of it. Just double check your heat press before you press it on something, because it'll happen like what happened to me, and I'll share with later, that I overheated and basically like melted the glue off the vinyl onto the koozie. I'll show you. Okay, I rambled a little bit too much there, but the next thing, to weed out my vinyl, I use the Cricut tools, and just to share with you guys, because I have it right here. This is the tool that I use. This one is a little bit older, so this one, actually, I don't even know if it's focusing. It kind of got a little bent at the top, which I don't mind. I appreciate the little bend because it helps it easier to kind of like just dig in and pull. My mom, because she helps me with some of my orders, she likes them to be perfectly straight, so I got her own tool. But yeah, I just use the Cricut brand. I've recommended, I saw TikToks of people going to the dollar store and finding some good weeding tools there. Just me trying to, when I first started, just trying to get my Cricut machine all set up and going, I just bought everything Cricut. And this is just something I wanted to throw out there. I got a message saying how I learned to use my Cricut. This can be a whole separate video, but I just wanted to say that I literally learned trial and error and watching TikToks and watching videos on YouTube, of course. So just don't try to rush it, is my, I guess, my comments that I can say. Take the time, get vinyl that is a little bit cheaper. I know I first started using Hobby Lobby's vinyl. I forgot, it's like Paper Craft or something like that. I mean, it's like, it was on sale at the time, so I got like, each roll was like $5, I think, or I think something like that. I got them really cheap, so I got a bunch of them. They still work pretty good. I used them when I first started making my cups, so I never got any complaints, so I know they're good. Just make sure they're permanent if you're putting them on cups, and just kind of practice. Of course, I mean, I know it takes me a couple of tries. When I first started like dipping my feet into customizing stuff, I texted my sister-in-law, my boyfriend's sister, that if I could make her a free cup. I mean, of course, she's such a nice person and she ended up paying me for it, but I like offered my service to her. And then I started with selling them super cheap. Like I feel like I did them a little too cheap, but that was my error. I just really wanted somebody to give me the opportunity to customize something for them. But yeah, don't rush it. Practice, practice, practice. It's honestly not that hard once you get the hang of it. I don't want to say trained, but my mom really helps me a lot now when weeding. I feel like that can be the biggest part with this stuff, because the machine cuts it, the machine does it all for you. So just make sure whenever you're like weeding and pulling stuff out, just to make sure that whatever you need to like press onto something is getting left on the sticker or getting onto your transfer tape, just to make it all easier for yourself. But yeah, I think I will cut this here. I'm talking too much, but I will do a more in detailed video if you guys want, like kind of pointing the camera on my Cricut, like talking about the settings. That's another thing. I'll make a whole separate video about this, but like settings and pressure and the blades and all this stuff. So I can definitely make a whole nother video for you guys, as I mentioned. But let's go ahead and get into how I am making these koozies for a realtor. For koozies, be very careful and make sure that the temperature is low and the time is low, because you will burn it onto the koozie. I'll show you examples of what I did.
wanted to share why the temperature really matters. Sorry, my machine is working over here. I had to cover it because it has personal phone numbers because I'm making these for realtors and just don't want to publish their number out there like that without their permission. But these letters, because the heat was so high, I think I had it set for what I make t-shirts, which is like, I don't know, 300, 320, and then the timer was set on 10 seconds. It like overheated the glues or whatever, however this is like made. So it ironed it on, and then because it was on there so hot, it like peeled it off, so it basically just melted it. So I have vinyl remover, which I can share with you guys what it looks like. I got it at Hobby Lobby and just applied it to remove it. So then I'm just going to reapply a new piece and see if it works. If it doesn't, then I'll just buy a new Koozie, so it'll be my loss. But yeah, I just wanted to share to be very careful when you are pressing something. I highly recommend having like a test one done and then moving on to making the real deal.
Alright guys, so as I promised to share the vinyl remover, I got this one at Hobby Lobby. This is what it looks like. As you saw in the video, it kind of just removes the vinyl. Actually, the vinyl melts it off basically, but there was some that came out a little like bunched up, so we use this to remove it. It does leave that like glue looking effect, kind of, you could still see her name, but I'm just gonna iron another like name that I print out. But if you have any solutions on how to like permanently or like take it all off completely, please let me know in the comments down below. And this is what I mean about us learning together, because I can teach you what I've learned and then you can teach me what I am doing incorrectly or correct me. But yeah, if you enjoyed today's video and look forward to getting a more in detailed depth on how to use your Cricut machine, like this video. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. And yeah, thank you for listening to me ramble and watching my video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.